going. Hi,
Awesome.
everybody. So just to put some names to faces, I'm Kaitlyn. I'm the CEO at Rainfactory. I've got Yohan Jacob here with Retailbound. We have two more folks that you should know. Enzo and Andrew are from Rainfactory as well. And Robert's here from Retailbound. They're going to be answering tons of comments in the Q&A section. So I see some people have raised their hand or maybe they're waving hello. Please drop your comments in the Q&A section and we can get to those in due time. All right, thank you. Enzo, take it away.
Yeah, welcome everyone. Thank you for being here. My name is Enzo and I'm part of the business development team here with Andrew. We also have our counterpart, Robert from Retailbound, who will be answering any questions on the Q&A chat. Of course, we're here to support Yohan, CEO at Retailbound, and Kaitlyn, CEO at Rainfactory, together to answer questions with regards to what happens after crowdfunding. We get these questions quite a bit, and as venture builders, we're not just here to focus on helping you raise money, but we're here to help you build your brand and company. So you're going to get a lot of answers with regards to different channels that are available after your crowdfunding campaign is over, and how to prepare your brand, not just to be ready for retail, but also to stand out within the retail environment. Without further ado, I'll let Kaitlyn and Yohan introduce themselves and get started with the programming. Cheers.
Thanks, Enzo. Yeah, so like I said, I'm Kaitlyn. I'm the CEO at Rainfactory, and I've got a ton of clients that have successfully crowdfunded their products, and they are always looking forward to what's next. And I have a ton of questions on behalf of a lot of my clients that I've gone over with Yohan, who has been an incredible resource for a lot of these people who are transitioning to from e-commerce into retail as well. So Yohan, give us a quick blurb about yourself.
Hello there. I'm Yohan, the founder and CEO of Retailbound. Looking forward to talking to all of you. I've helped countless brands go from crowdfunding to retail. Doing this for 30 plus years in the retail space, back when I was much younger. But no, looking forward to giving some tips and strategies how, as a crowdfunding brand, how to get into retail the right way.
I love it. Well, we've got some slides to walk through with you guys, but it'll be a very engaged discussion. So again, I encourage you guys, looks like there's some lively chats coming in, and please make use of that Q&A section and we'll get things going. Right. So thanks for everybody for joining us today. We're going to be talking about your post-campaign playbook from launch to e-tail and retail success. As we've mentioned before, we're going to go through a lot of post-funding next steps, choosing the right sales channels for you, kind of what about the retail speaks out to you, what are some indicators of retail readiness, some key marketing elements, and there's going to be lots of case studies along the way. As mentioned here, this is just a little bit about us, and we're going to be a lot of banter back and forth, prettier headshots than the folks that you see today. But something else that, I would like to share, I'm a mom, I have 3 kids. I lived in Seattle, Washington for 10 years. Rainfactory is headquartered in San Francisco, California. So kind of the dual state citizen there. And I relocated to DC to be closer to family. It's where I grew up. Yohan, you want to share a little bit about yourself? Yeah, go for it.
I see. I'm a size large. I like long walks on the beach, and my favorite color is blue. Is that what you want to hear?
Perfect.
Born and raised here in the States. Spent most of my time here in Chicago. I'm one of few retail consultants that have been on both sides of the buyer and sellers. It's very important to understand that, because I've been in your shoes as a manufacturer who has made every mistake under the sun and then some. More on a minute on today's call. But I was also a very large buyer for 2 different billion-dollar chains, and there I saw my fair share of the good, the bad, and the ugly. So hopefully from today's webinar, you'll learn what not to do from my past experiences.
I love that. That buyer experience is gonna really is like really key for me as well. So you finish crowdfunding and you're delivering. Okay, now what? So for the first thing that I have for Johan is how do you know where the right channels are for launching your brand in retail? Do you do Amazon? Do you do Best Buy? Like, how do you figure out where to go first?
A great question. There's no easy answer, but it's great discussion to think about. So for many brands that maybe did a successful or an okay campaign on Indiegogo, now want to just reach to the next step. For many brands, Amazon, like their Shopify or DC website, is probably the next logical step. But many large retailers using Best Buy or QVC don't want to be a guinea pig for unknown or unproven brands. Okay, so Amazon and DC is probably great to get some sales, get some reviews, test, keywords and content and images, right? So for most product brands, Amazon and DC is a great place to start. As for regard to Amazon, take another step further, sometimes it makes sense not to launch on Amazon for a couple of reasons. If you have a very unique product, probably more where you need someone to educate you than just watching a video, reading some copy. It's maybe best not to go on Amazon. I mean, look at retail like a Best Buy or QVC. The reason why is because Amazon has a very liberal returns policy, as well as a very liberal review policy. And if you're a new brand, here's a brand right here that makes a high-tech heating
Here, let me
pad
stop
from
my
Spring.
share. Hold on.
That
Can you
this
show
brand
that
here,
brand again? Yeah, go for it.
it's called CaloPad, right? So they sold 8,000 units in Europe, mostly in Switzerland. And they want to think about, well, should we go to retail? Should we go to Amazon? I told them, wait, A, the price was kind of high for Amazon, it's more mass market. But two, since they're launching a brand to US, I said, someone can write some bad reviews on you. You can stumble. And again, retail buyers will look at Amazon, they'll look at your sales and reviews, and if sales are not that good or reviews, you probably lost your chance to get into a Best Buy or a QVC first. So some products, I say maybe you should wait, launch on retail versus Amazon. Plus, not go on Amazon, give you some leverage with the buyer. The buyer may listen, if you launch on HomeDepot.com versus Amazon, they will give you X, Y, and Z. So not launching on Amazon might give you leverage in negotiations with a retail buyer who's in love with your product or brand, by the way.
Yeah, I think that's really important too, because Amazon also is expensive to launch on, right? So what are kind of the
Correct.
margins that you're looking at potentially losing versus selling on your own site? A lot of our clients use that as their first step.
Yeah, Amazon's it's not a cheap date, like my wife and daughter, not a cheap date. Since COVID, costs have slowly or quality have gone up for young brands, and most of the clients we have, you and I, are mostly 3P or marketplace or seller central. Bigger brands are more 1P or vendor central, where Amazon controls the price and inventory. So for those smaller brands on Amazon on Seller Central, right, is a little more challenging, but it's a good platform to kind of launch into. And in Amazon Seller Central, it's just a monthly fee and a small commission based on sales. Where on 1P, it's a buy-sell relationship like a Best Buy or a Walmart.
Yeah. Yeah, that is really interesting. So I guess my experience too is, I have had a client that was selling on Shopify. We've been working on their Shopify store, and they also have an Amazon presence. They've had a ton of reviews on Amazon, and things were doing pretty well. All of a sudden, due to an algorithm error, the whole listing just got delisted,
Yep,
and people couldn't buy it. The
correct.
website sales jumped by 30%. And so we had a very clear case study of how much Amazon really does take into your direct to consumer sales.
Correct. That is correct. And again, I said, many of our clients, and we have one common client right now, Next, right? They pre-launched last year, so a lot of units during Q4. They are gonna launch on Amazon, but I know Target and Walmart are in very serious discussions for in-store placement because of not being on Amazon, day one. And there she is right there.
Yeah,
Speaking of common client.
here's just a quick one. This is another mutual client of ours. Next Playground. They actually didn't launch on a crowdfunding platform. We launched them on their own site first. And Johan and his team has helped them as well. All right, I'm gonna go back to our screen share really quickly because even though we're talking about case studies all along the way, Johan, we have one for you as well. So tell us a little bit about Ultra Human and what was their go-to-market strategy for retail.
Ultra Human, it's funny. I've been telling Robert, I always want a smart ring as a fitness enthusiast who's been working out constantly. I was like, well, it's not cool to have a smart ring, right? Because the wearable smart watch space is oversaturated. And so Robert spent almost a year talking to Ultra Human about onboarding under our platform. Ultra Human is a India-based manufacturer that makes a smart ring similar to Aura. You may see at Best Buy and other retailers. There are some differences between them and Aura, but they want to go into retail. After raising over $600,000 on Indiegogo and Kickstarter, they thought retail is the next best place because they want people to actually feel the product, try it out, talk to a educated sales associate like a blue shirt at Best Buy, right, or a red shirt at Verizon, and say, hey, tell me about this. Will it work with my cell phone? How do I track steps? What's between this and Apple Watch, right? So versus being online, it's tough to get that interaction with a customer, right? So we spent a few months. We started last June, actually. Spent about 2 months getting them ready for retail. So we're going to go market strategies, pricing, packing lot stuff, and then and within 4 months, QVC was the first major retailer. Hey, let's get it on air. Typically, QVC does not test new products during Q4. Usually reserved for the
that's a big
proven
deal.
winners.
Yeah.
Like an Amazon or a Ring. So let's give it a shot. So they actually debuted this product, Ultra Human, on Black Friday, and within seconds, not minutes, but seconds, the product sold out. They had 2 or 3 other airings over that late November through early December timeframe, and well over $1.5 million. One retailer, right? And so far the plan for 2024 to 15 million. Again, one retailer. They're in talks with retailers for in-store like Best Buy, Verizon, Walmart, as well as other verticals like premium incentive, house bookstores, right? Retailers like house bookstores, yeah. Whether it's Stanford or Yale or Notre Dame, they sell beats, they sell they sell bows, they sell rings. So find other verticals besides retail is our jam. Try to find other income streams for our clients. Because retail does take time. So we're waiting for Best Buy to get back on this ring. We can talk to a premium incentive dealer. We can talk to a hospitality Airbnb vendor.
Yeah, I think that's huge. And what were some of those early conversations that you had with, say, QVC that got them to say, okay, yeah, I'm going to take the plunge?
So one of the things I mentioned earlier is that a lot of large retailers don't want to take a chance on unproven brands. So since they sold X number of units on Indiegogo and Kickstarter, it reassured the buyer that, hey, you sold the product, you have some metrics on sales and reviews and customer feedback and things like that. So it reassured the buyer that, hey, that they did get in bed with this brand, that it should work well, and their chance worked out. Now it did very well during Q4 of last year, by the way.
Yeah. Wow. So I mean, that kind of really ties into maybe like the next line of questioning that I get from a lot of my clients. How do you know that you are ready for this retail space? Especially, where does it fit? Do you start this exploration? You said it was a 2-month journey right after the campaign ends, or Do you wait to deliver and get some feedback? What's that typical timeline look like for you?
It's great. So since 2008, our team has met or consulted, educated, and mentored over 4,000 brands around the world. I would say about a fourth came from crowdfunding. And we look at the data, typically that number, a small percentage will reach out to us during the crowdfunding event. Oh, I hit my goal, man, to go to retail. Where majority wait till the campaign's done. They've fulfilled their backers. They've gotten the feedback, and then they're ready for retail, because you hate to go into retail with a product that's kind of like the software's kind of, the app is not, it's kind of buggy. It's not working with the ring, or there are some definitely issues on wholesale support, so
Yeah.
better to beta test with Indiegogo and Kickstarter, see what works, what doesn't work, before you go into a bigger stage with retail, because I can guarantee you, as a former large buyer, you don't get a second chance of making a first impression, right? So better to make a oops with a backer, apologize and get it fixed. With a retailer, you make a mistake, it could cost your company, hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars, right? So I always tell brands, before you retail, make sure you have some sales, right?
Yeah.
I've got clients who sell zero or sell very little. Hey, I want to start at Best Buy. I'm just selling a healthy number of units per month, per quarter, per year. Wait, right? Don't rush into retail. Take your time. We were joking before this thing started. Retail's a marathon, now a sprint, right? So think more long term. So once you're sort of consistent on your website or Amazon, that's the route you take, then it makes sense to make that plunge, as well as you have happy customers. Again, retailers definitely look at reviews, whether it's on your website, whether it's on Amazon or third parties. They look at reviews. And if you're a 2-star brand on Amazon, I guarantee you we won't have a conversation with a Best Buy or a Walmart. Also, buyers look at it as very product unique. Even our iPhone case manufacturer, there's a dime a dozen, right? Massage guns, Bluetooth speakers, true wireless headphones, right?
Yeah.
If your product has distinct advantage, like this ring, ultimately has some
Here, let me
advantage.
hold on. Let me stop that share. Show me your ring again.
Sorry.
Yeah, there you go.
My wife hates it. I wear it more than my wedding ring, so she hates it, by the way. Oh.
Well, I think it's on her that she needs to have some embedded tracking in the wedding ring, I guess.
Where's
That's
Yohan
the
been?
next.
Where's Yohan been? Right? But the reason why QVC and our retailers like this was, I like Aura, right? And there's some other features that were marketable, that were not high price. Like, oh my God, it's a cool feature, but it's like $100 more than the competition, right? So it has to be reasonable, right? But as long as you have a good product, super consistent, right? Happy customers, and the features are notable in the competition, there's definitely opportunities to get in retail. On that slide you had earlier, you'll have inventory ready. We've had clients,
Yeah.
hey, I don't have inventory. Well, then you're probably not ready for retail. And finally, having the financial strength, large PO someday, wait 30, 60, even 90 to get paid by a retailer, as well as upfront certain costs. So just because you sold, 3,000 units on Indiegogo doesn't mean you're ready for retail yet.
Yeah. Yeah. And tell me more. So there's one last thing that you haven't yet addressed, which is that healthy supply chain. And I'll share for the group.
So in 2020, a lot of brands, as well as retailers,
Yeah.
had issues with supply chain, right? Component shortages, cost increases. Supply chain is definitely since 2020, it's been a big focus from startups to large retail like Best Buy and Costco, right? So, as long as inventory is consistent, there's no oops in supply chain, they know you're ready, right? If you don't have the financial strength, the inventory, and so forth, you're not gonna. And plus, the other thing I also missed is margins. You gotta make money, right? Both you and the retailer. You're not here for fun. This ring, there's enough margin here, right, for both the retailer and for the manufacturer, as well as even a distributor in between a retailer and a brand. Because again, for some retailers, if you're a one SKU wonder like Ultra Human is, it takes a lot of time and effort to set up a one SKU brand. Having a distributor in between, it takes a couple points of margin. It's important, but if you're very thin on margin, it's very tough to get into retail if you can't afford a distributor in between you and the retailer, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah. Hold that thought too on margin. I know we're going to circle on it in the future.
Yep.
And this is also relevant to a question that we just had asked in the Q&A. So what if you're, and this also plays into our case study. This is actually a mutual client that Yohan and I have had for a few years. And
3 years as of next month, by the way, for us.
yeah, 3 years now. And I think talking about having enough inventory, getting the POs, because inventory has been probably the biggest issue because you never know when something's going to pop and sell out either. So walk us through that, because some people have had this question of, what if you're perpetually on pre-order mode? How do you kind of break that cycle?
It's very tough, right? Where you're having peer PayPal, or it's more just in time inventory. Well, we don't get a PO, then I go manufacture it. In retail, it doesn't work that way. You need to have inventory, they call it buffer, already here in your warehouse in the US, and be able to replenish. Because if you're on the shelf, especially, and you're out of stock, the buyers, why is there a hole on my shelf? And that's a black mark on your scorecard or report card, right? Everybody has had some issues over the last year in getting enough inventory, because we've been selling out at Hammacher Schlemmer or HSN. They're launching or have launched on some of these retailers like Target, Sonoma, Best Buy, and Lowe's here today or currently very soon. And so having enough inventory in the pipeline is important. One question I get asked a lot, well, how much inventory do you need to start retail? Our philosophy at Retailbound, very similar to Rainfactory, we treat your money like our money, right? So instead of bringing $1 million of inventory, right, let it sit there, right, and then your cash is tied up there, most likely it'll probably start small. So maybe it's a couple of case packs, right? Start small and based on sales trend or future promotional opportunities like Black Friday, back to school, Mother's Day, right? That's when you bring up the inventory. Distributors will have a big warehouse for a product they don't sell. Retailers don't have a big back stock room for a product they want to turn the good. That's how they make money, both the retailers and distributors. So typically, I tell our clients from an inventory perspective, it'd be small, probably a couple of case packs, and based on sales and future marketing opportunities, then it makes sense to bring more inventory in. The other question, well, what if it's to get in store? How much notice will I get? Well, if it's Best Buy, typically from many brands, probably on bestbuy.com in the beginning, maybe a small store test, but probably .com. If there's opportunity to get in store at Best Buy, I say right now we're working with, like Ultra Human. They're going to be hopefully in the October reset. That's in 5 months, 4 or 5 months, right? They've had plenty of time. So it's the time to ramp up inventory, secure the components from their factory, right? And get it shipped out in time to Best Buy to put on the shelves in Q4, right? So typically for bigger opportunities, there's more lead time. But in the beginning, probably a couple of case packs to start with. And based on sales trend, that's when inventory is replenished. Right.
Now pretend like I don't know what a case pack is. Could you kind of educate me on that one?
Sure. Actually, I'm doing it for this time right here, by the way.
Let me stop my screen share.
This time right here, now they do D2C, right? They're shipping units from their warehouse in Switzerland to end customers in Europe, right? But in retail, they're not buying one to twosies, right? But it has to be in a way where it's packaged where the retail can grab and go. Typically for our clients, their case pack can range from 8 units to 48 units, right? In a big brown box. That big brown box has a UPC code. So when someone scans a UPC code in that big box, it says there's 16 of these in a master case of this, right? And then to make it easier for our clients, there's a little tip here, is to make it, retailers get charged every time under P&L, every time their warehouse manager has to open the box to pull out 4 units to go to store 1, 2, 3 in Virginia. Okay, so make it easier and more cost efficient. We tell our okay, in this example, that's 16 units in master case, and then maybe inner case. These are smaller sleeves, but maybe 4 each. We figure 4, maybe 3 within a retail shelf, and 1 would be in the back stock room, right? So 16 units on a master case, and then 4 sleeves of 4 each of inner case. So that's what a master case is, and what's that inner case is.
That I love how detail oriented that piece of advice was, and that really goes to show that you are really thinking embedded into the business, like down to every last little.
That's correct.
Yeah.
That's correct. And we always tell our clients, Kaitlyn, that you want to be successful in retail, or you want longevity in retail. My one little tip, and hopefully you write this down, is make the retail buyer job easier. Seriously, you make the job hard, like you have no high risk images, the samples come in damaged, you ship late. Why would they work with you? Right, just like yourself, you had a paint contractor paint they show up late. The job is shoddy. I would work with them, right? So if you want to stay in retail, make the buyer job easier. By the way,
Yeah, I think that is so important, and that's why it's important to really talk to people who have been there before, and
right.
yeah. We have a really great question coming in too. And is it recommended to roll out products to retail that have a large amount of SKUs for a brand new product or company? Because you mentioned how, the ring was a one product wonder so far. So is it preferable to have a company that is, kind of like an entry product, or do you want to enter with a suite of products?
Either or. It depends on, again, do they have sales? Are they customers? Are they financially strong? They have inventory, right? But if one SKU like this, or they have a plethora, and sometimes our clients may have accessories to go with the hardware, as an example, right? But it's still one SKU. This is an add-on, right? But I personally like when brands have more than one SKU, because it's like you go on plan A, I'm gonna sell this product, right? They don't like A. Okay, we have plan B, we have another product. Or you can show a customer or the retailer a good, better, best opportunity. Or if we get in line, now you have 3 or 4 SKUs on that planogram. You mean more to the buyer? You mean more to you? This guy has one ring. That's it. Different colors, but one ring. So if by chance it's not selling well, there's no plan B. Right now, they're coming to other products, by the way, right? But I'm using an example today. They have one product. They have other products coming down the road. So having other products gives you longevity in the retailer, allows you to average your margin, because some products may make less money than others. And 2, from a brand perspective, you walk in the store, wow, there's 2 feet of brand XYZ. It makes a statement versus just one SKU of 40 SKUs, like a iPhone case. Right? You get lost in the sea of other brands, by the way.
Yeah, I think that is so huge. And now we're going into the kind of the marketing side of things too. Because you're talking about share of shelf space, share of, the retail buyers are just like a customer, right? So everything that you're going to need to sell a customer, you can use to sell a retail buyer. So really just maintaining that obsession with customers and that focus on customers is essentially what's going to help you ground the business and run very far. And I know that the folks at Airhood, and for the recording folks, I'm going to be really small. But, these guys have shipped and delivered. It's another one of our clients. It's a portable range hood. And these guys were obsessed with listening to their customers. We had surveys, we had feedback. Even the name was heavily tested even before we started launching. So once you have that channel direct to consumer, you have a safe space for customer feedback. That's not these important retail buyers, right? Yeah. So let's talk about marketing. Now that, let's say, yeah, you're trying to get on the shelves. Tell me, you're in the mindset of a retail buyer. What are people looking for?
Sure. So not in order, right? But as a retail buyer, right, I'm gonna look at, well, how's your product stack against the competition? Where it's current competitors that I actually have on my shelf, or online, or on air, or in print, or potential competitors that are calling me on a weekly or daily basis, right? How your product, compared to how's your feature set. And at Retail Bound, one of our things we do to onboard them is create a matrix, like Airhood, how do we compare other like products in the market. Some of our clients we have together are like Next. There's nothing out there like it, right? So you have to compare, well, it could be like an Xbox or a Wii. It could be. It could be
Oh, they're
a
gonna
bike.
hate that you said that.
Yeah. Or it could be a basketball. I mean, Next is a good example of a mutual client that there's really no direct competitor, right?
Right.
They have indirect competitors, in their space. So how do you educate a buyer of a product that has no competition, right? Maybe a sales history, both Airhood and Next, before they came to us, they had sales on their websites, for Indiegogo, as well as understand what were their returns like. Buyers like me hate boomerangs, which means sell it and it comes back. We want to sell it and keep it sold. So we all know products do come back for various reasons, right? But if it's truly, if it's buyer's remorse, okay, what are you doing? Educate the customer before he or she buys product XYZ. If it's truly a manufacturing defect, what are you doing to address these issues, right? So the buyers want to know, okay, maybe you sold at the $100,000 on Indiegogo, and you had, $20,000 returned back to you, right?
Yeah.
What are you doing? And they know that you can return, but you tell a buyer that you're finding ways to lower that number from a 10% return rate down to 2%. That's good, right? Margins, which is very important. Every retailer has their margin requirements, probably speaking. I already have, well, what should my margin be? It depends. So for example, this product, the ring, right? I'll give you a swag, right? For Best Buy, they're probably in that 30 to mid 30 range raw cost. So it costs, $100. It's $100 retail. It's not. I'll use an example. Best Buy cost is $70 or $65. Using an example, right? Great. What if their company is offering 40 points of margin or 50 points of margin, right? Some retailers have lesser margins. So Costco, right?
Yeah.
Same product, right? But they don't want 30, 40, 50. They want maybe 15 or 20, right? Catalogers like Shopper Image, which is a catalog that ships millions of catalogs around the
Oh,
United
take a
States.
look. Hold on. I'm gonna stop this one. That's another crowdfunded product right there. The bird's
Yeah,
eye.
it's Bird Buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Have a slew of them, a slew of
Oh
catalogs,
man,
yeah.
incredible. So yeah, tell us
Yeah.
about Sharper Image.
So print catalogs, right? They want more margin. So
Yep.
typically, if it's a C item or it's a cup, they want more than Keystone, which is more than 50 points of margin. Why? It's paper that they're printing. Isn't online, right? It's paper. So margins can range for like this ring as little as 15 points of margin for a retailer up to 60 points, right? And that's just the margin. For other retailers, they may want some rebates, marketing allowances, bottom center rebates, prepaid freight. So at Retail Bound, what we do for our clients, part of our onboarding is we do price modeling to make sure that the retailer, where it's a Best Buy, a QVC, or a Sharp Image, 3 different retailers, are making money. But more important, the brand is making money, right? If they're not making money, I said earlier,
Yeah.
why doing it, right? So
Yeah, exactly. And I love that you do this for for your clients and our clients, because it is so different trying to think about all of these different margins and how are you going to maintain price control and how does that compare to the overall marketing landscape? We do so much price testing even before going live on crowdfunding, and people are so worried that the market entry price on crowdfunding is going to anchor them for the rest of the product's life cycle. Like they're worried that, for example, if Apple drops a new product, the price only goes down, right? That's the expectation. So tell me a little bit more, because I, pretend that I'm doing this for the first time and I'm really worried about how heavily crowdfunding has to be discounted going into market. And what do retailers think about that?
So, most retailers know that on crowdfunding, you're offering a deal, right? To get testers, to get sales and other metrics, right? So most retailers are gonna say, hey, it's a $300 ring, but an Indiegogo, it's $199, right? As an example, right? Or an air hood, it's a $129 product, but it's not $79 in Kickstarter, right? But they understand that Kickstarter and Indiegogo, they have different costing than a retailer, right? All a retailer cares about in regards to pricing is that once you are in the market in retail, where your Airhood or Next or clients we've worked on side by side, their pricing is consistent, retail pricing. So if this is a $200 ring, where it's Amazon, Best Buy, QVC, for the most part, it should be the same price. If Amazon or QVC or in your own websites is lower than a Best Buy, you're gonna have a very unhappy retailer on your hands, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Well, and now the retailers are so sophisticated. They have crawlers, they have bots, they've got price match.
It's funny you mentioned that. We had a meeting with Walmart. Now you for Walmart, they're not like Best Buy, they're not. Best Buy is more innovative, right? Walmart is like more mass market, more commoditized products. Walmart has spent a lot of money in their systems where they can tell you, I'm surprised. When did you have a promotion last on Amazon? Right? They have the ability to not just what your current price today, but go back many months and say, oh my God, you've been discounting this product every single month. Because the trick is that many Amazon brands will be at everyday price when you're talking to a buyer like Walmart or Best. Oh, you're at $199. That's great, awesome. And you look at your kids, but they have the systems now to say, oh my God, hey, this ring was $199. Hey, the last 7 months, 8 months, you've been at $149, $179. You're all over the board. What's going to ensure us that when we do get in bed with you, right, Walmart and product XYZ, that your pricing on Amazon is be consistent versus a roller coaster. So retail have got a lot more skin on price analysis, not on their own website, but also on competitors' website as well, by the way.
Wow. But now, just so I'm clear about how that plays into margin. So let's say you're at Costco and you're at Best Buy. Are they still competing with each other, even though they've got, 30 and 15% margins?
Sure. So the way Costco works, and how we get around the minimum advertised price policy, is that Costco, since as a member, I'm a Costco member. In fact, I just got charged $120 last month for my membership, right? And I'm paying to be a member and get a discount. It's like my Prime membership on Amazon, right? So for Costco, you have to offer a bundle, right? So maybe it's a 2-pack, or it's this and along with warranty, right? So you offer like, I'll give you an example, Fitbit. When Fitbit was big, they had a watch for $199. Same at Best Buy, same at Costco, same at Target. However, at Costco, well, it's $199, like Best Buy. Costco product, their bundle, offered 2 wristbands, pink and purple, right? It probably cost them for $1, right? At most, right? But the retail value of $50,
Yeah.
right? I just bought a pair of Apple AirPods for my daughter, AirPod Pros. It was the same price I get at Best Buy. However, I get 2 years of Apple, home care. Well,
Yeah.
okay,
Thanks, Costco.
right. So there's ways around Costco, even QVC, to offer a bundle. And a lot of times the retailer like Best Buy for QC or couple look the other way. But if Best Buy and Walmart, are competing, it should be hand in hand. If this product is lower on Walmart, Best Buy be very unhappy with the brand, by the way.
That is incredible. I want to be mindful of our pacing. This has been such a lively and entertaining discussion. I hope I'm not alone in that sentiment. But we do have a last case study for you guys. Johan, any other comments too about what retail buyers are looking for?
Yeah, so great. So a couple other things here, besides, key features and sales and returns and margin, and we talk about price point being consistent. All things are very important, customer reviews, right? I know on Indiegogo, Kickstarter, you want to make sure, I tell our clients who are crowdfunding, make sure you respond to comments on your crowdfunding discussions, right? Those threads, because I guarantee you some of the younger buyers will look at Indiegogo, look at hey, brand X, why you just shipped? It's been weeks, it's been months, right? They want to see you're proactive than reactive, right? So definitely make sure that customer reviews, press reviews are important. Marketing strategy, very important. Retailers in the beginning, they're not already doing a lot of marketing for you. They'll provide a platform for you. It's up to you to either succeed or fail. So what are you doing as a brand to build awareness? Right? Where it's PR, where it's trade shows, influencers, PPC, reviews, there's a plethora of things that Rainfactory can educate you on the digital side. But what's your marketing plan to build build awareness and try to a Best Buy or an Apple? And then finally, for younger buyers, not one of them, what do you do on social media? Where it's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I'm starting to hear that a lot more. Like, hey, I noticed they only have like 200 followers, what the heck? Or they haven't posted anything on Instagram for years, right? So make sure that your social media presence is up it's up and running versus it's not that good at all.
Yeah, that's very interesting seeing how that plays into the whole overall landscape. One of our biggest clients on the social media side was HTC Vive, and they're everywhere. And top down, the whole company is very, very laser focused on hitting those growth metrics.
Wow.
And it all plays in together. They're like, you gotta increase the followers. And we were given a ton of directives, and goalposts kept getting moved, but we were right there with it. It's just even the bigger companies, they still got to be nimble and agile. So it's been great fun.
That the goalpost keeps moving forward, far and farther ahead, right? So
it does. So let's jump into this last case study, and we'll talk a little bit about Cujo. We'll wrap things up. There's some great questions queued up in the sidebar chat.
Yeah, it's actually one of my favorite success stories. So Cujo was one of our clients. They raised a lot of money on Indiegogo. So on the first day, I think they sold 5,000 units on the first day.
Yeah.
And their CEO called me in a panic. They hired a VP of sales who literally quit before a major trade show called the Consumer Electronics Show. They brought us on board like day one. Met with a lot of retailers at CES in 2016. And while they were getting ready while they were preparing the product for their backers, which was probably like a late May, early June of 2016, my team was getting ready, showing products to various retailers. So once the backers got their product in end of May, early June of 2016, that we were able to flip the switch with Amazon Launchpad, Best Buy, QVC, Walmart. In fact, I think we launched in the top 18 of 25 C retailers within a year. In 2017, they were in store, all stores at Best Buy Canada, Staples, Office Depot. These are excellent stores. They were the top performing products on QVC, especially when there's a mini release on, someone got hacked, right? Or there was malware, right? They took my advice. I wish I took equity when I was offered. I was like, nah, not equity, just pay my weight. But they took my advice and decided to license their IP to guys like Comcast, Sharp, people who make these routers in your homes. Today now, they're in about over 30 million homes today as a white label, their service, and protecting your home from hackers and malware and spyware, right? But and they got bought by for $1 billion, by the way. But great success. We're a very small company, 9 entrepreneurs in Northern Cal, former Apple executives, and in 2 years with me, they went from 9 employees to 180 in 3 countries, and the results speak for itself, by the way.
I think that is so huge. And so if I can get that correctly, it's kind of like what on the marketing side, we just do a media blitz. You all of a sudden this brand was nowhere and now it's everywhere. It's on your TV, it's on your social media, it's as you're listening to Spotify, right? It's when you're checking YouTube. So was that kind of a similar strategy for you that you just they wanted it everywhere at once?
They want to be first in market because, like many of our clients, they usually are first in market with a unique product. And you knew that on Crowdfunding, there were a couple other similar products, and we were first in market with a great product at Best Buy or QVC or even Apple. It's less likely the buyer's going to kick me out for a new product that came on Indiegogo Kickstarter. So that's why they want, and they also want to be number one with the best of the best. So QVC being the number one key response retailer, Best Buy being the number one C retailer, right? Amazon number one in e-commerce, right? So they want to be number one with all the key players. But yeah, they want to get quickly because they like it. Their goalpost, like mine, was also pushed out many times along the way.
That's incredible. I think I want to tie this to one of the questions that we got in the sidebar chat. So feel free to answer with respect to Cujo or anything else that comes to mind. But one person wants to know, is it important to provide demo product and advertising materials to some of the smaller retailers like banners and cards?
For sure, for in-store, be able to have in-store POP or market materials, as well as provide, it's optional, but offer to train, educate their sales associates, whether it's in person, because the salesperson is your ally. Do a spiff or so for Cujo, for some more smaller retailers that have more specialized staff. Not like a Best Buy, which is probably a 18-year-old kid. No offense to Best Buy, but for like Market Center, that's 25 stores. Their average sales is probably in their 30s, who's making a lot of money selling computers and other stuff. And so we did a sales contest and a spiff, and it worked wonders, right? Of educating sales about Cujo, and push that onto their customers who would say, "Hey, I'm fear of getting hacked. Now I have a smart garage door opener, I have a smart lock, I have smart lights. What can I do to protect my home? Here you go, sir. Here's a thing called Cujo. Awesome. Thank you very much."
Oh yeah. I think that is a theme that I've seen in some of the products that you represent. I mean, they're so new technology that they require a lot of consideration and explanation,
A challenge. I'm much sure we're a company like Cujo or Airhood, where they have no competition. They're first to market, right? So you're busy pioneering a new brand, right? Where other it's like, oh, I want a product that's been around for a while, like an iPhone case or a massage gun. Great, right? I like the challenge. I like working with brands that have new products. There's no competition. We can set our own roadmap, right? We can go at our own pace. Versus, oh my God, Apple's come up with a new smart ring tomorrow. What do we have to do to beat Apple to the punch?
Yeah. And I love that. That's the same thing with Rainfactory. We specialize in getting things to market fast and effectively. I mean, we've got a very time intensive, labor intensive, you just like 10 years of learnings condensed into 8 weeks, So yeah, definitely embracing a lot of the similar challenges a lot earlier on. All right, so bring us in with the summary. Let's hit some Q&A and then we'll wrap up.
So so in summary here, launching, retail's not easy, and I think, if you get your brand into retail, right, it gives you street cred for your brand. Because, not many products on crowdfunding make it into retail. It's a fact, right? There are literally hundreds of great campaigns out there, very few making retail for various reasons, right? So if you do get your brand into retail, like a Best Buy or QVC, you can pass on your back because, hey, you're one of few, right? It gives you that's like legitimacy, right? That you are a brand. Plus, I think launching in retail, give you close to millions of customers. Retail's not dead. Robert and I get asked, well, isn't retail dead? No, it's changed because over COVID. In 2023, 49% of retailers added stores in 2023, but only 17% of retailers closed stores. And those were basically in market that maybe changed, maybe lower income or the population has changed, right? So retail has definitely grown, but it's not going away. And I think having the ability for people like myself who are impatient, instead of me buying on Amazon or your website, waiting 3 to 5 days or longer, I can go to Best Buy this afternoon and pick it up, or I can buy online, have it shipped to my house, right? So having being retail like a Best Buy or QVC does give you other ways of growing your business. But again, I think if you get into retail, we were talking earlier, Kaitlyn, it's a marathon, not a sprint, right? So if you're going to be in retail, you got to play the long game. Take your time, but hopefully after today's webinar, you've learned some tips and suggestions to avoid the common mistakes that your competitors are making day after day, by the way.
I think that's so important. And I'm really glad that you came and spoke today and actually recognized some of the names in the sidebar chat. So I do know that this has been very valuable to a lot of our clients as well. So let's stop our screen share. We'll go into a couple of the Q&A and then we'll wrap things up. So, Nick wants to know, what are some of the artifacts that a company can have ready to help distributors better communicate new products to retailers? And so he wants to expedite that onboarding and optimize the marketing process specifically from the distributors to the retailers. So tell us about the distributor education side.
Sure. So the distributor being in between the retailer and the brand, right? So having sales tools where it's sales sheets, brochures they clearly define the benefits. Be able to offer training because again, that distributor has probably thousands of product brands, right? And distributors, typically speaking, are not really sales agents. I kind of joke, at least in the US. In other countries, distributors are a lot smaller in Europe and Asia, so they act as a sales agent. But in the US, well, they're fewer distributors in the US, they're very large. So if you're fortunate to work with a large distributor here in the US, that be patient that you're just one brand out of 10,000 brands, right? But providing sales collateral, offer training if that's recommended, offers even do a spiff or kind of short term to kind of educate the distributor reps about your product. Provide support that if someone has a question, you're there to answer it. But regardless, just like I said earlier, just like a retailer, you make the distributor's job easier, right? Again, good chance of being there for a long time. So if they call you, hey, Ken, I have an opportunity to sell 10,000 widgets. Can we get a lower cost, right? Or hey, Kaitlyn, here's a PO for X. We need here by this date because retailer XYZ is by this day, right? So again, follow through your promises, make job easier. But those are things I would do from a distributor is pricing, collateral, training, stuff, do what it takes to support that distributor for you.
Is it even worth it though? If they're that big, are they going to read it?
Yeah, that's one of the challenges. When you're a small brand, if you don't have a direct connection with a Best Buy or a Costco, and again, if you're a one SKU product, it's extremely rare that Best Buy is going to put this one SKU up on their website. It takes up to 6 months to be a direct vendor at Best Buy if they give you the green light. Worst case, 2.5 months, 3 months being an average. A distributor, if given the green light, I can get out of Best Buy within 2 or 3 weeks on .com, right? So the time is much sooner, but you're paying for that, right? You're paying a lower, giving a lower cost to the distributor. There'll be some other fee associated with a distributor, right? So there's another layer, but it can help you onboard quicker with a Best Buy or a Target.
I see. So they are willing to learn is
Yes.
what I'm hearing. Yeah, they're willing to
Yep.
go through that work because they see the dollar signs. I think as long as you're able to really like paint the dollar signs, coming back down to the proof. And as we always say at Rain Factory, decisions are data. So providing both the collateral and giving them that extra incentive that really motivates them to use it and put it to work, like that's going to keep people
Yeah, like I tell
motivated.
our clients, when we're working with a distributor, say, hey, we're happy to be on a sales call with you, right? Regardless of the time zone, right?
Yeah.
So if a distributor, hey, I have a call with Best Buy. Can Kaitlyn from brand XYZ, can she jump on the call? Sure. Because at the end of the day, the sales rep at the distributor, he's a generalist. He's not a specialist, right? So he doesn't know all the details of your product like you do, right? So he can get an appointment with Best Buy, but he'll need you or someone on your team to be the product expert to educate the buyer why your product's better than our product at Best Buy's assortment, in Best Buy's assortment.
Yeah. So treat your buyers like your customers and treat your customers like they own the place.
Correct.
So this last question coming in from Anthony. Yeah, I sense a little hot take in there. So I'm curious to know about your Instagram account. So he's saying, what if our company isn't big on social media? Is it better to have no social media versus a very small social media account? And he goes on to say he wants to just delete the Instagram account because it seems like a big waste of time. So I'll let you jump in on it first, but I have an equally hot take on that too.
Mine might be different in your answer, right? So it depends on what kind of retailer you're talking to, right? Now, some retailers are very social media heavy, like Best Buy. Other retailers like TJ Maxx or Ross Stores, probably not as social media heavy. So it depends on the retailer you're going after, right? All depends on who the buyer is. The buyer is in their 50s to 60s, like this guy. Probably not a factor. Where it's someone like your age in their 20s and 30s, probably a little more interested when you're doing your social media platform. I'm a big believer that if you have a lot of negative feedback on your Instagram or even on Amazon, in fact, we've had one or two clients in the past where their first gen product was horrible before us. We even got engaged, right? But retailers see that, so maybe you need to shut that off, get rid of that page, right? Once the inventory on Amazon, shut it down, because if our happens to sole Amazon and sees, hey, an older first gen product out there and it did horrible, why would Gen 2 be any different? Right. So that's my feedback. That it depends on the retailer. Maybe you don't have the social media presence, but again, it's probably a case by case basis, I guess.
Yeah, my take on it too, and I really appreciate your sort of like holistic answer, is you absolutely need to be at least having an Instagram presence and a Facebook presence, simply because that is still the most effective ad dollars that you can spend as an early brand.
Yep.
So if these retailers, if they care about your marketing budget, where are you going to be spending that budget? I want to be spending it where I can actually measure where these dollars are earning dollars. So, especially for me on the direct to consumer side, a lot of Shopify stores and the like, it's all Instagram, it's very heavily driven.
Next, one of our clients, they were big on Facebook. They huge,
Yes.
very huge, his community. And they say, hey, it's a retail, Target, Walmart, Best Buy, join our group, see the comments, and see the feedback, see how fast we respond. This is the CEO. The CEO is responding to all the Facebook. I'm like, when do you sleep at night, right?
I know. Yeah, and again, these guys, this one, yeah, case studies for how to be customer obsessed top to bottom.
Yes.
So we are
Big
at time. I want to respect everybody's time. I'll flash a little screen. Here's where you can connect with me, connect with Yohan. There's Yohan's email. Here's my email. You guys have been a really great audience. I hope you've gotten a lot of value out of this, and I will be soliciting a ton of feedback for future sessions as well. So thank you everybody so much for joining.